Nick Duran here with Tattoo University, and today I'd like to thank everybody for supporting the channel. We're about 20,000 subscribers strong now, and we're growing at a rapid pace. Just so you guys know, this channel was never intentional. It's just something that kind of happened. So you can tell that things have improved over the years, and the quality of the videos have improved over the years. And the reason for that is because I never planned this. It just seemed to happen. So this channel started because I was trying to answer someone's question with a video, and I decided to share that. And then more people had questions, so then I made videos to answer their questions, and then the videos just kept coming and coming, and you guys kept asking more questions, and next thing you know, here is Tattoo University. We actually started off as the Jaunty Artist Tattoo Club, but I changed the name because I wanted to let you guys know that this was a learning channel like a university or a school. If you're coming to this channel, it's so you can learn how to tattoo and learn proper techniques and improve your skill level. So we're all about the learning. We're not here to BS you or take up your time with other things. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So a video must be worth at least 1,010 words. We are doing the videos to prove the techniques work, to show you guys. The videos started just as proof to what I was telling people, and it just grew from there, and we improved, and I had no idea it would reach the point that it has reached today. So I thank everybody for that. And keep up the good work. Let's improve some more. If you watch the videos in the beginning, the quality is pretty poor, and that's because I never intended to do this. I never had any idea that it would continue on. So you can see the video quality now compared to the video quality from before has improved a lot over the years. And the channel will continue to improve as long as you guys support it. And I see that there's a need for it. I see that people are improving and that they can use the channel and use the information I'm putting out there. So I can see that I'm helping a lot of people, and I'll continue to do that. This channel is a free channel. You will never have to pay for anything on this channel. All of the information is free. I feel like you should not charge somebody to give them information. The more people know, the better they will be, the better their lives will be. So I want to offer that information you guys for free. This isn't one of those channels also that will start to give you free information and give you a little bit of information and then start charging you. Everything will be free on this channel, and it will always be that way. I don't want to take money out of your pockets. I want to take money out of the pockets of the corporations that can afford to pay for it. You know, you're buying stuff from them. They can afford to give a little money back. If you guys want to see improvements, then you don't have to pay for it out of your pocket. There's ways that you can support the channel by subscribing and watching the videos. You can buy merchandise from us and tattoo machines and equipment that I'll be offering. So that will go back into supporting what we do here at the channel. If you want to improve what's going on here, you don't have to pay more money. You just have to give us a little more support and tell people about the channel and just advertise the channel. Feel free to post these videos, post links to these videos on other sites. Don't be afraid to give this information out. That's what we want. We want everybody to have access to this information. If you can translate the videos so that other people can understand them, go ahead and do that. You know, I want not only people who speak English to be able to watch these videos, but I want people in other countries to be able to watch these videos as well. And we can support them. We can help everybody improve their tattooing skills, which will increase their income if they start tattooing. And that's going to help everybody's friends and families out. That's going to help them support what they want to do and support their life. So the way you can show your support without money is by subscribing to the channel and watching the videos, also sharing the videos with other people and other websites. You can go to the website also, Facebook, Instagram. Check out all of these sites, all of the social media for Tattoo University. And this will show companies that you guys are interested in Tattoo University. And then those companies can support us, or maybe we can ask those companies for equipment and items that we want to show to you guys. This is a community channel. We are giving back to the tattoo artist and the tattoo apprentice, anybody who wants to improve their tattooing skills. We are here for you. So all you have to do is show the channel your support. So I'm going to try to answer some of your questions because a lot of you ask the same questions and I get asked it a lot. So another reason for these videos is that I can answer your questions, answer maybe one or two people's questions, and then everybody can learn from that person's question so that I don't have to continue answering the same question over and over again. That takes up a lot of time. So we want to get that question answered, put it out there for everybody, and then let everybody watch it. If you're watching these videos, I'm going to suggest that you watch all of these videos before you ask questions, or look around for your question first and then ask it, because you can't learn tattooing all in one day. It takes a really long time, and there's a lot of little tiny things that equal the big picture. So you need to, in all of these videos, there's a little bit of information that you learn and it adds up. And I might have answered your question in one of these videos. If you have a question about tattoo machines, watch all of the tattoo machine tuning videos. If you have questions about tattooing techniques, watch the videos where I'm actually tattooing or explaining tattooing techniques. After watching the videos that apply, feel free to ask the question if I haven't answered it in any of those videos. If you're new to tattooing, you don't know a lot, watch all of the videos first and you'll probably have a lot of your questions answered. Some of your questions I can't answer because there's so many factors there that you're not asking. It's like asking an incomplete question. It's like asking just a really vague question that there are too many answers to. One of the questions is, what's the best tattoo machine? And my answer to that is, what do you like? What works best for you? What kind of tattoos are you doing? There's a lot of questions that I would have to ask you with that. The answer to that question would be, what works the best for you and what you are doing? And you might say that's not really an answer, but it is, because I can't tell you that this machine is the best machine in the entire world, or this machine is the best machine in the entire world, or rotaries are better than coil machines for every tattoo. It's not the truth. And this channel is about telling you facts and not blowing smoke up your ass. You need to understand that there's a lot of variables to tattooing. You guys are asking the same things over and over again and not getting answers because there isn't one answer for that question. There's a lot of answers for that question. The more you learn, the more you know. You'll be able to answer that question for yourself. Another question you guys like to ask is, where can I buy a good tattoo machine? There's a lot of answers to that, but I'll give you a couple of them right now. Buy a tattoo machine from a known builder who understands what you need. This is a machine you've seen a lot on this channel. This came from Hexagon Irons. You can check him out on Instagram. And he builds machines. So if you wanted to buy a machine from him, I wouldn't say just give me a machine. I would tell him I need it to run fast, or I need it to run slow, or somewhere in the middle there. When buying from a builder, you don't just tell them I want a liner, shader, or color packer, or you can, but as an artist, you should know what works for you. And I would tell him I need a machine that I want to run about 100 cycles per second with a 50% duty. Or I want a really fast machine running 120 cycles per second, and I want a really light armature bar and a really short stroke on it. But as a builder, I could tell him the specifications of the machine I want. And I really want to support the builders who are doing a good job. And Hexagon Irons is doing a real good job. He's very professional and business-like. So I want to encourage you guys to buy machines from him because he's doing the right thing. The problem is there are a lot of people in the tattoo industry who are just waiting to rip you off. Some companies will sell you a machine for a decent price, and other companies are doubling the prices of their tattoo machines, and it's really not worth it. They just know that you're having a hard time getting a tattoo machine and you'll pay that extra money. So you want to go with a company with a good reputation and someone who has decent costs. You don't want to rip the builder off and not pay him what it's worth for this machine, but you want to get something for a decent price. And this coil machine will probably last me till the day I die. When you're buying a machine, ask around. See who is a reputable dealer. See who has a good reputation. See who has good machines, because a lot of people will sell you crap machines for a lot of money and they're going to rip you off and that machine isn't going to work for you. But if you talk to enough people and enough people tell you that you can trust this person, then you want to buy from that person. If you just go onto eBay and you don't know who that person is and they're trying to sell you a $300 machine and they're telling you it's one thing, and then once you get it, it's a cheap knockoff. So know who you're buying from. Don't just buy random equipment online, because there is a chance that you will get ripped off, because there are a lot of people out there ripping off people in the tattoo industry. Another reason why I'm doing these videos is to keep you guys from getting ripped off. The problem with the tattoo industry for the longest time is nobody talked to anybody. If a company was selling garbage equipment to this person would not know that that was garbage equipment and would buy from the same company. But if this person buys garbage equipment and they talk to this person and tell them it's garbage equipment, then these two people will stop buying equipment from that company, and that company will go out of business. It's not healthy for tattoo artists not to talk to each other. These tattooing expos and the social media and all this where the tattoo artists are communicating with each other is very healthy for the industry. Without it, everyone's still going to be getting ripped off and buying crap equipment. Now, if you go to Hexagon Irons, like I did, and you get a good machine, so you have bought a good machine, and this is from a person who is very business-like and will back up their equipment, and then you tell this other person that this is good equipment, everybody will start buying from that company, and that company will flourish because it is doing what it's supposed to and selling good equipment. And I want to put the home builders out there who are doing that. I want to put the companies out there who are doing that. If you know a company like this, or you are a company like this, put your information in my comment section. Put it down there. Contact me, and I will research into your company and see if you're doing a good job and what everybody thinks of you. And if I get good reviews from everybody, I will put it out here on the channel and let everybody know they should go to you, because you're doing the right thing and you're not ripping people off. You're doing good business. Where do you buy tattoo machines? From a reputable company and from builders with a good reputation. Another one of the questions that keeps getting asked is, why am I using cheap machines? And the reason for that is, this was the first machine that I had. and it still works. I took this machine apart, and this is no exaggeration, over 100 times. This is the machine that I learned how to tune machines on, and I am still using this machine today. It is a great little liner, and that's what I use it for small needle groups. The reason why I show you guys these machines is because I know them inside and out. I know what it takes to get these machines to work because I've messed with this one so much. And in order to get this to work, I've done so many things to this machine. I adjusted the coil height, I put silicone down there, I even had to super glue the core to the wire to keep it from wiggling around because I messed with it so much. I changed out the connections, I changed out the washers, I made my own springs. That's what it takes to get one of these cheap machines to work. I don't want to give you guys the impression that you're going to go out and buy one of these cheap machines and it's just going to run for you and work. $10 machines are not going to work for you. You have to tune them and adjust them. So if you don't have any mechanical knowledge or tattoo machine knowledge, you want to buy a machine from somebody who knows what they're doing and it is all set up for you when you get it. Unless you want to learn how to tune tattoo machines and you have some kind of mechanical skills and know-how to be able to do that, and you want to watch the videos that I've done where I've shown you how to tune these things, you can make these work. And these are great little liners and shaders. I haven't found a good color packer like this yet, but for lining and shading, you can make this work. But you have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to have to learn, or this will never work for you. And you need to buy a machine that you need to pay a little more money and buy a machine that someone has already tuned for you. The difference between this machine and this machine when you first buy it, this was just slapped together by people who don't know about tattoo machines. This was put together by someone who makes tattoo machines and knows how to make them correctly. This is just parts. Until you adjust these parts correctly, they will not work like this. I don't like calling these cheap Chinese machines. A lot of the machines come from China, but it doesn't matter where your machine comes from, because if you buy Kylin tattoo machines, they're from the same area and they work really good. It doesn't matter where it came from, it matters how it's made and who put it together. So that's the difference. It's not about cheap or expensive either, because this was a reasonable price machine. This was cheaper, but this was a good quality. The quality in this is not that great. If you're learning how to tattoo, I would not give you this machine. I would give you this machine because I would teach you how to tune machines before you even started tattooing. Because a coil machine will last you forever. If you buy the name brand rotaries, they might last you your whole career, or if the company sticks around and they do a good job, if it breaks, you can send it back and have it fixed. The issue with the cheap rotary machines is that they break. Every single rotary machine that I've bought that is a knockoff has broken, and it hasn't lasted a really long time. They work for a short period of time, but then they break. What you want to do is, if you like a knockoff, you buy the name brand. You don't buy the name brand first because you might not like it very much, or at least try out the machine first, because I've tried some rotary machines that I didn't really like. One of the issues I have is the direct drive machines that kind of float up in the air up here while you're tattooing, and I just couldn't get along with it because it felt unbalanced to me. So I had to try out a couple of different rotary machines before I found what worked for me and what I liked. And that is why I say buy the knockoff first, because you're going to spend $15 to $40, $50 for the knockoff, and then if you like how it works, you can always buy the name brand machine. But if you buy a name brand machine for $300-$400 and then you don't like it, you're stuck with a name brand machine that costs you $300-$400. You always want to improve no matter where you started from. So if you were like me, self-taught, and you started with a kit that came with something like this, you can learn from this channel and you can make your equipment better. And once you get better and you started sacking away a little bit of money, you can get better equipment. If somebody can tattoo with a cheap machine like this and do a really good job, imagine what they can do once they get a better machine in their hands. So it's not about the machine at this point. It's about the artist. It's about teaching you and you learning. A lot of artists focus on the machine and they focus on the equipment first. They focus in the wrong areas first. And they should really look at themselves and what they know, because the machine is just a machine. It's just a paperweight. If it's not going to do anything until it's in the artist's hands. And it's what the artist does with it that makes the difference. I really feel like it's a shame when the tattoo artist doesn't know how to tune machines, because then you don't know how to choose the machines for the tattoo you're doing. Which comes to the next question, which is, what tattoo machine should I be using? Well, what tattoo are you doing? How do I pick what tattoo machine I want to use? Today I'm going with this machine. One, because I haven't used it in a really long time, and just for the nostalgia of it, I want to use this machine. And I want to show you that the first machine that I had is still working even after I've taken it apart so many times. The other thing is, this machine is set up for lining or shading. And I'm going to do both of those things. So I also know this machine is light hitting. It's not a real hard hitting machine unless I turn the voltage up a little bit. And I'm using a smaller needle. So all of those factors that are going into the tattoo I'm going to do led me to choose this machine. If I was doing a solid color tattoo and I wanted to use my coil machine, I would use this machine. It has a longer stroke on it. It runs slower. It's a cutback, but I've moved it all the way forward. If I wanted to line, I could move it back. If I want to color, I move it all the way forward, give it a nice long stroke, slowed it down, pack and color. I would choose this machine if I was packing solid color, but I'm not doing that today. I'm doing more color blends and more shading. You always have to look at the tattoo you're doing. And if you know how your machine works, if you know how to tune a machine, you can look at a machine and decide what's the best machine for that job. This machine has no give. So pack and color lining, perfect for that. If I wanted to shade, I would not want to use this machine. This machine, also not a lot of give, perfect for packing color and for lining, but not perfect for shading with. So if I wanted to shade, this machine has a lot of tension on it. It doesn't have a really hard hit, and it runs about 110 to 120 cycles per second. This machine I have set up probably around 100. Lining machine 120. I look at the tattoo and then I make the decision what machine works best for that tattoo. So that's how you choose what machine is best for you, or what machine. I know what I like. I know what machines I like. Sometimes it's just how I feel and what I want to use that day. I don't just get one machine and I do everything with that one machine. I'm going to answer one last question here and we'll move on to the tattoo I'm doing today. And the question is, what needles should I be using? This kind of goes along with the tattoo machine question. What tattoo machine's the best tattoo machine to use on? First, I have to say, what tattoo are you doing? What are you trying to do? So, with your needles, you have your machine. That's part of the equation. Your needles are the other part of the equation. If I wanted a solid line, I have my machine that can do lines, and I would use a tight round liner. I'm not doing solid lines today, so I want my lining machine and shading machine. I have a shader needle in here, a round shader, or a loose group, depending on what you like to call them. So I can do color blends with the looser group instead of the solid lining with a tight group. So if I wanted to pack color, the machine I'm using is part of the equation. So I would use a long stroke, slower machine for packing color. The other equation is the needle. So am I doing a small tattoo? Am I doing a big tattoo? Am I using a big mag? Or am I using a 7 mag? What are you doing? Well, you can't ask the question, what's the best needle, without telling me what you're doing with it. So if I'm packing solid color, I want a short tapered needle. And with the combination of the color packing machine, it would pack in color like crazy. And I would get a nice solid color packing in there. Now, if I wanted to blend it in more, I could use this machine, but I would use maybe like a bug pin or a long tapered needle, which means it's not as fat and nubby. It's skinnier and longer so that you can get little dots in there. With the short tapered needle, it's fat. You get nice fat dots. All those nice fat dots together equal solid color. If you don't want solid color, you use needles with smaller tips on them and you pack in little dots that you can build up. If you just want solid color, long stroke machine that runs slow and a needle group with a nice short taper, make big round dots, fill in that color. These are the decisions a tattoo artist makes before he does a tattoo or she does a tattoo. So if you don't know why you're making those decisions and you're just throwing something on there because I said that's the best thing to use, you're missing out. If I just told you this is the best machine to use and that's what you were going by, a lot of tattoo artists are doing this. Everybody is tattooing with this machine and this setup and these needles, so I'm going to do the same thing. And tattoo artists reach a certain point and they never grow. They never get better, and they're kind of just, they can tattoo. That's about it. They can't do good tattoos. They can't branch out and do different tattoos because they know one thing and one thing only, and they figured out how to do that and they can't do anything else. So you need to be a well-rounded artist. You need to branch out. You need to learn. I know so many artists who, oh, this works for me and this works for me, so that's all I use. And their tattoos are not as great because of that.